What is up, YouTube? HTJ here, and I'm coming to you guys with another deck profile from Master Duel. I got the Blackwings coming at you guys today. So this is the deck that I used for the Synchro event that was going on in Master Duel. Unfortunately, I didn't get too far in the event, only because there was such little time I had, and I was doing a whole bunch of other stuff, as you can tell. So I decided to go ahead and build the deck because Blackwings, when it comes to synchro summoning, this is most likely the deck that a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia with. If it's not this, it's Synchron, and that's just because Synchron is just really good when it comes to its synchro. Now, when it comes to Blackwing Synchro, of course, you know that they're focusing on their particular monsters and particular summons. If I had more access to a lot more of the Synchro monsters that, are equivalent with Blackwings, it'd probably be a lot easier. The extra deck would be a lot different, let's just say that now. And because so many of these are locked behind having so many gems and stuff, it did take a while to fully build what I have now, on top of what I already had in my box already from all the stuff that I've opened. So, with that pretty much said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at my variation of Blackwings, and then I'll show off some replays for you guys. So starting off, we have 3 copies each of, I guess we'll just say, the big hitters of the deck. We have Bora the Spear, and we have 3 copies of Kalut the Moonshadow. Then I got a lot of 2s. I have 2 copies of Blackwing Shore the Blue Flame, 2 copies of Blizzard the Far North, 2 copies of Simon the Poisonous Wind, 2 copies of Gradius, the Midnight Sun, or is it Midnight Sun? Yes, it's the Midnight Sun. 2 copies each of Blackwing Chris, the Crack of Dawn. Then 1 copy each of Vayu, the Emblem of Honor. Osiris, the Squall, 1 copy of Oster, the South Wind, 1 copy of Sirocco, the Dawn, and 1 copy of Zephyros, the Leech. Then, to round out the monsters, of course, there's a nice set of Ash Blossom. Enjoy spring. For the spell cards, 3 copies of Ring Requital, 2 copies of Black Whirlwind, 1 copy of Lord Darkness, 1 copy of Monster Reborn, 1 copy of Harpie's Feather Duster, and 1 copy of Regeki. For the trap cards, 2 copies of Compulsory Evacuation Device, 2 copies of Icarus Attack, and 1 copy of Red Reboot. For the extra deck, 3 copies of Blackwing Armwing, 2 copies of Blackwing Armor Master, 1 copy of Blackwing Tamer Obsidian Hawk Joe, 1 copy of Assault Blackwing Rakikri, the Rain Storm, 1 copy of Blackwing Silverwing the Ascendant, and 1 copy of Blackwing Animaru, the Divine Thunder. Animaru, the Divine Thunder. Sorry, I have to make sure I got that name correct. Then we have 1 copy of Ancient Sacred Wyvern, 1 copy of Clearwing Synchro Dragon, 1 copy of Colossal Fighter, 1 copy of Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 copy of Crimson Blader, and 1 copy of Cyber/Harpie Lady. Now, the deck itself is comprised of all of these Blackwings. I'm sure many of you remember these guys from past, of which they were. And to be very honest with you, that's what really inspired this build, was literally just an inspiration of Blackwings, and how Blackwings have that, that easy way to turbo into a lot of other Blackwing monsters. The crazy thing about this is that how easy of access the extra deck has, because even though I don't have cards like Trishula, Stardust, all these ancient, not to say ancient, but all of these older variant of Synchro monsters that accompanied with a lot of decks during the time Synchros were heavily used and were the focus of the game. The Master Duel kind of locks you out of a lot of them, and you could make some of them if you had enough of the gems to actually make it, because I sure don't, and I had to go through a whole lot of packs I had to save a whole lot of stones, gems, then I had to go through a whole lot of packs, then I had to break down cards, Then because I'm using certain cards, I can't break them down to build what I could build. And it's basically Blackwing at its highest peak of turbo. It's like that I don't have cards like Multiples of Lore Darkness, I don't have Burial from Different Dimension, and I didn't have Foolish Burial and stuff like that. So I basically just took what I could with the special summon spam and then at least have one big Blackwing on the field, and then I could go for the others to take advantage of Black Whirlwind off of Seamoon, and then Seamoon can, grab Gale, it can grab Blizzard, and then just synchro through, and then just, synchro climb through that. With the only exception, things is I wish I had multiple Blizzards and maybe a couple of more of the other non-tuner Blackwings. I think for the most part of what this deck did on its own wasn't too bad. It's just, if I had more time to play around with it, I definitely would. And as far as like the extra that goes, kind of just the same thing. It's very heavily Blackwing inspired. And then it has a lot of nuances to help keep it fluctuating. So, alright, I've talked enough about this. Why don't we go ahead and we go on into the duel. So just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So, I don't have too many replays, unfortunately, from the event, and I think a lot of them is probably because I just was speeding through things. But here is at least a few of them for you guys. So this was, I forget what this. Oh, this was Witchcraft. They go for the Shmirta. I go for the Ash Blossom to block the Shmirta. I think they had a pottery, or no, they had a set card, and then they ended their turn. So I go for my turn. I summon Astra, and then I just swing. What I'm really wanting to do is trigger off this Ring Ruck Ritual in my hand. For those who don't know, this is a normal spell that if you controlled, all the monsters you controlled were Winged Beast. Hold on, we're pause for a second. If all the winged monsters you control are Winged Beast, and at least 2 of them have different original names, you pay 600 life points to draw 2 cards, which is really good in a deck like Blackwings, because majority of their deck is Winged Beast. Now, going on to my opponent decides to summon Witchcraft Pottery. During the main phase, she's able to trigger this card to discard 1 spell to special summon a Witchcraft monster from your deck. And then I believe the other effect is that if you have no cards in your hand, you can banish this card from your graveyard and type 1 Witchcraft spell card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. I believe this monster is basically setting up for her special summon effect. While I think Witchcraft Shmirta is banishing herself so that she can add another Witchcraft spell to your hand, and I believe they're going to add the Witchcraft Holiday, which is a special summon for the Witchcraft monsters. So that is the end of the turn. Witchcraft Holiday is going back to the hand. I forget that they add something else, I'm not sure. But By Street is now on the field. So it's going to be a doozy, but I play the Harpie's Feather Duster to sweep those spells and traps away. I play the Raigeki to get rid of the Pottery. I go for the Ring Work Tool after special summoning the Bora, but unfortunately it gets blocked. So, oops. That wasn't fun. Yeah, so then I go ahead and I go for the attack. I don't Ring Work Tool got fucked over. So I decided to keep both of these monsters in the field and not synchro summon, considering the fact that I had an 8 in play. So Pottery gets summoned, and they go for a Witchcraft of Hane. Hane attacks Bora, and I drop the Kulut to kill her off. And then after that, I believe this is where I go for a game. I got the reboot in hand, and I just decide to set it and then just swing for the remainder of this duel. So, yeah, not too bad for this one. And then I have one more after this. Alright, so then here is the last duel for this video, and it is actually against Virtual World. Which I have really no real experience with Virtual World. I think it's just, from my understanding, it's special summon, stall out. So my opponent sets 2 back row, and I draw an Allure of Darkness, which I go ahead and start for a turn. That immediately gets Ash Blossom. isn't fun when you get asked for drawing potential. So I go for the arm. So I go for the black. Where I go for the blizzard. I go for the Bora. I have a Kalut in hand, and so it's my own Ash Blossom. I believe I synchro here for arm wing, and then I set that compulsory evacuation device because it's best to set cards during your end phase than it is to activate them. So my opponent goes for the virtual world gates. Which targets a card in the field, shuffles two banish virtual worlds action deck to, I believe, destroy the card. So I go for the Ash Blossom to negate the monster in hand. The dog. That way, I'm making sure my opponent can't do much. Unfortunately, my opponent does start doing a lot much, as they set the Quinlong onto the field. So I got another Bora in hand. I normal summon that, and I start swinging. Forbidden Droplets gets played, and unfortunately, my Blackwings missed the mark here. Luckily, I have Kalut, but I couldn't do any piercing damage with my Arm Wing. So I go ahead and just special summon the Bora back after compulsing it. Due to the Forbidden Droplets. So my opponent goes for Quinn Long. They're going for Princess. No, they're going for Hime to, I guess, try to set up. And then that was it. I think because they probably didn't have enough to set up with, they just surrendered. So I guess I dodged a nice bullet off of that. Here. Okay, so with all that really meant said, because unfortunately it wasn't too many videos, and I swore I thought I recorded more, but I guess I didn't. That's pretty much it for today's video. With the Blackwings for the Synchro event. So just want to quickly say thank you so much everybody for watching, and I'm so happy that you guys are enjoying the content. As provided. Hopefully in the future, if there's another Yu-Gi-Oh event, I'll hope to live stream it, or even then, hopefully get the chance to show off more decks for the specific events. With that said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, as it helps me out tremendously. You can also hit the notification bell next to the subscription button, so you guys can be informed of when I do upload more content. You can also hit me up on social media. The social media links are in the description box below, and you guys can definitely catch me on on Twitch, at twitch.tv/HarpiePlayerJoe, where I do some of my live content. So, definitely help me out, because I'm only a few steps away from becoming affiliate. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will catch you awesome people next time. HBJ signing out. Take care.